everybody, and you're all very welcome here to Waterville for the first semi-final in the Walsh's Super Value South Kerry Senior Championship semi-final, the meeting of St.Mary's and St.Michaels Foilmore. Lovely dry day here in Waterville, so it is so far, and we'll hope that will continue. Mossy Coffees and co-commentary as usual with me this afternoon. Mossy, before we look ahead to today, a quick word on last week. An exciting end to the game here in Waterville, and the home side just about got over the line.
Just about got over the line. I suppose a key feature to South Kerry Championship this year has been 2-point scores. You know, Valencia came back at Skellig's Rangers in their game the week before. Waterford were down 4 points here with 10 minutes to go, and they kicked 4 2-pointers, and that was the difference. The 2-point scores are making a fierce difference to games.
And you're speaking of that, and I was just looking at the St.Michaels Foilmore win over Renard, Mossy, 15 points to 13, and they had 5 2-point scores, but they're only 3 scorers in total. They need others to chip in today.
Absolutely, like just talking to Foilmore people and the Valley Foilmore people before the match here, like Ian Smith O'Sullivan is a big player for St. Michaels Foilmore, and if he's off form, gets injured or whatever else, do you know what I mean? If he's out of the equation, it's hard to see where the scores are going to come from. Matty Michael is on wing forward today. He's a serious player as well. Like, he's well able to score as well. But like Ian Smith is a fierce player for the Marys.
And you're very impressed with the St. Michaels Foilmore half-back line.
Absolutely. I was, in the game against Renard, I thought it was the outstanding line. Donna Shukra, Mikey Scanlon, Kieran Clifford is in there now today. He's another serious operator and an experienced man as well. And you need that today. Like a lot of the game here now today, the middle third of the field, the half-back line, half-forward line, and the 2 lads in the middle of the field. The middle 8 is going to be crucial to that.
The bookies, of course, are rightly so, I suppose, calling the Marys as favourites, but they're 10-1 on Mossy to win this today. I think that's a little bit disingenuous to say Michael's Foilmore.
Absolutely. I just did a thing there. I think they have met in 10 semi-finals, and it's 6-4 to the Marys. So that's as close as you're going to get it. Do you know what I mean? So you can't underestimate any team, especially I think St. Michael's Foilmore are a team on the way up. I think definitely in the next couple of years they're going to get their hands on Jack Murphy. Whether it's going to be this year, it might be a year too soon for them, but they're closing in on it.
And we speak about scores. St. Mary's had, I think, 8 different scorers in their 114 to 11 points win over Drummond. So it's really hard to know who to pin down on that side, isn't it?
Yeah, they're all. Look, I suppose the talk all the time is Brian Sheehan. But Brian Sheehan takes the freeze, and he's still very good at that. But like you said, they have a range of scorers. They have 7 or 8 fellas that can pop up and get points from all over the field. So, the wing backs, even the cornerback can come up and do it. Midfielders, all the forwards can pop, get the crucial scores at any time.
So how are you calling it, Mossy?
I'm going to give it to the Marys, I think, slightly. People think that the Marys are going to run away with this. I don't think so, no. But I think the Marys will get over the line. All right, it'll be a tough test here today. We'll see where Ballyfoilmore are. You know what I mean? I think that it's 7 or 8 years since they've met in the championship. 2018 above in Gortmore. St. Mary's won by a point that day. Lucky to get over the line, and they haven't met since. So we'll see today. Good day for the game anyway.
Okay, we're 15 minutes from throw-in, and we'll give you the official team news. There's a good few changes on the St. Michael's Foilmore team. We'll be back with team news in a couple of minutes. There you go. There you go.
Will you touch base with Fiona Griffin and give her the changes?
Yeah, I saw her. Yeah, she's probably on the other side.
There's 4 changes in the.
Thanks, Kerry.
4 changes in the belly team. 19 is in for 3. 27 is in for 4. 24 is in. It's stuck into the back of the net by Kyle O'Connor from the last time, and he does to Kieran Keating. But the glorious chance for Kieran Keating. Back he goes to Micheál Sullivan. Micheál Sullivan. That's a great block. It's the goal. Micheál Sullivan with the goal. The skinny brain.
Any changes? Haven't heard anything.
There's rates of changes, John.
This is the one I used last week. One.
Yep.
Falter over Corja and welcome to Waterville for the first semi-final of the Walsh's Super Value South Kerry Senior Championship. There's a few changes on both teams, one on the Marys and there is 4 on the St.Michaels Foilmore team. I'll call out the St. Mary's team first. In goal, Brian Sheehan. Full back line is Kane O'Shea is coming in, replacing Josh O'Sullivan. Number 19, Kane O'Shea, is cornerback. Keane O'Donoghue and the captain, Oisin Moore, number 4. Half back line, number 5, Conor O'Shea, number 6, Dara O'Sullivan, and number 7, Darren Casey. Midfield, number 8, Jack Daly, and number 9, Kieran O'Driscoll. The half forward line, wearing number 10, Alex Coffey, number 11, Anthony Kernan, and number 12, Aidan Walsh. Full forward line, wearing number 13, Ben O'Donoghue, number 14, Tyke O'Connor, and number 15, Daniel Daly. So, St. Michael's Foilmore team, number 19, Mark King, replaces Brian Smith. Number 27, Kevin Griffin, replaces number 4, Cathal Casey. Number 24, Shane Goggin, replaces number 9, Adam Murphy. And number 17, Matty O'Sullivan, replaces DJ Moore. St. Michael's Foilmore team is in goal, Jason O'Shea. Full back line, number 2, Niall O'Sullivan. Number 19, Mark King. And number 27, Kevin Griffin. Half back line, number 25, Kieran Clifford. Number 6, Donna Shukra. And number 7, Mikey Scanlon. Midfield, number 8, captain of the team, Stephen O'Connor. Number 24, Shane Goggin. The half forward line, wearing number 10, Andy O'Connell. Number 11, Alan Goggin. And number 17, Matty O'Sullivan. The full forward line, wearing number 13, Luke O'Shea. Number 14, Ian O'Sullivan. And number 15, Jack Griffin.
Hello, I'm Declan Sugaroo from 3DS Designs. We specialise in property design, planning permission and construction from initial concept through to completion. We start by meeting you to understand your vision and requirements. Our first step is percolation testing to specify the correct septic tank system for your property. Next, we consult with county councils to gather their feedback before submitting the full planning permission application. Once planning permission is granted, we finalise project costs and manage the build process. If you qualify for grants, such as the Vacant Property Home Grant or SCAI Home Improvement Grants, we'll apply on your behalf. Note that these do not apply to new builds. We also handled BER assessments in-house. Throughout construction, we agree on a target completion date and work to deliver on schedule. By choosing 3DS Designs as your main contractor, you have one point of contact under one roof, ensuring a seamless end-to-end build process.
and you're very welcome here to Waterville for the throw-in here for the South Kerry semi-final, the first semi-final, the meeting, of course, of St. Mary's and St.Michaels Foilmore. You have the changes. So one late change on the St. Mary's team. Josh O'Sullivan cries off with injury. Cian O'Shea, brother of Connor, comes in at cornerback. And for St. Michael's Foilmore, Brian Smith, Cathal O'Shea, Adam Murphy and DJ Moran not starting as announced on programme, and Matthew O'Sullivan, Mark King, Shane Goggin and Kevin Griffin coming in. There'll be a whole change, positional changes. A beautiful day, Mossy. Slight bit of a breeze blowing from our left to right, but nothing massive.
Coming into the stand, kind of unusual for Waterville. Normally the scoring goal, the wind is coming out from the scoring goal, and it'll be interesting. I'd say it's a tricky wind to kick into. We'll know shortly.
We will indeed. Eddie Walsh is our referee for this afternoon, and of course, no doubt, Skellig Rangers and Waterville are eagerly looking on to see who will be the first team into the final. St. Mary's go in, of course, as the warm favourites, as we mentioned, but we'll have to wait and see. There's a few...
Donna Shucker's out here in the wing picking up Aidan Walsh, gone from the centre back position.
We're on the way. Matthew O'Sullivan, the big tall man, and Alex Coffey mark each other in the middle of the field for the throw-in, first free of the afternoon to be taken for St. Mary's, and it's Kieran O'Driscoll. Kieran O'Driscoll about 55 yards out from goal. He's just outside the 45-metre line now. Kieran plays it back to Aidan Walsh again. Aidan inside to the middle. This will be a slow build-up now from St. Mary's. Alex Coffey. In fact, it was Jack Daly who went in for the throw-in there with Matthew O'Sullivan, not Alex Coffey, and this now is Jack Daly over on the far side, inside the 45-metre line. Brian Sheehan already has come out around the middle of the field, looking to be that extra man out around the middle. So we'll have to wait and see what's happening. Conor O'Shea, first ball for Conor, first touch for him inside. Advantage will be given here. That was a foul on Daniel Daly. Referee's hand is still aloft, but he's allowing good advantage, and this will be, is it the first score of the game? It's gone out for a 45. In actual fact, the free is going to stand.
He's bringing it back for a free. He had his hand up to a free, and he's bringing it back for free just inside the arc.
And Brian Sheehan will be the man to take this free just outside the D's. It'll be the very first kick of the game for Brian Sheehan, and you'd expect him to pot this one over, Mossy. He's just on the D.
It's well within his scoring range anyway, so you would be expecting Brian to tap this over.
Well, looking back at the quarter-final, Brian Sheehan got 6 points in total. One two-pointer that day. This isn't a two-pointer, but this could very well be the opening score of the game after a minute and 35 seconds for St. Mary's. And for Brian Sheehan, here he comes. Distance is not a problem, and neither is accuracy. That's the opening score of the match. Brian Sheehan making it 1 point to St. Mary's and no score to St. Michael's Foilmore. The evidence is there straight away, Mossy, that St. Michael's Foilmore will have to be very obedient in that half-back line, won't they? And the full-back line.
Absolutely.
They'll have to be disciplined.
Well, to be fair, I suppose it's every free taker's dream to get a nice handy one in front of the goals. And for Brian Sheehan, 40 yards out is a handy one. Maybe for most fellas, it would be a long-distance kick. But for Brian, it's tap over one for him. Speaking
of long distance, a good kick from Jason O'Shea there. But the break has gone the way of St. Mary's, and Darren Casey out there in the half-back line. And he plays it now to Cian O'Donoghue. Cian O'Donoghue, man that has worn the county jersey, of course. This ball is called for over here by Aidan Walsh. He was free for a long, long time. Nobody picked him up, and on the overlap coming here now is Conor O'Shea. Conor O'Shea taking on the St. Michael's defence, beating two of them. Still Conor O'Shea. Lovely little ball inside, but a good interception there by Niall O'Sullivan. There's danger here. That's a goal, is it? It is. It's gone in.
Aidan Walsh.
It's a goal from Tyg O'Connor.
Tyg O'Connor. Aidan Walsh set it up. Good run by Conor O'Shea there. Great run.
Yes, that's the start that St. Michael's Foilmore did not want. Tyg O'Connor, the man that scored a goal also in the quarter-final against Drummond Pierces. He's after getting his second goal of the championship this afternoon. 1-1 to no score, and only 3 minutes gone. St. Mary's could not have got a better start,
Absolutely, absolutely. 4 points up now. St. Michael's Foilmore will have to get the next score or two now just to make a game of it.
Well, I'm watching the positional play of Matthew O'Sullivan. He's around the D. Maybe they should be bringing him out a bit more for kickouts, but they'll have to wait and see. And again, Conor O'Shea involved in a lot of good things down there. There's a boot gone in there.
On the ground, touched on the ground.
Maybe Fernando O'Connell, referee, says it's a free enter to St. Mary's again, and Aidan Walsh again. The runner inside again is Daniel Daly inside there, trying to get possession. Has possession now, getting out there ahead of Kevin Griffin. Plays it outside again. It's Mary's all over the field at the moment. They're winning every battle that is to be won. 3 minutes and 40 seconds. And again, Jack Daly sprays it across here now to Cian O'Donoghue. Cian O'Donoghue Gone deep into territory, still Cian O'Donoghue. Help has arrived from around him, and help has come from all different angles. And it's Tygo O'Connor now going for another point to go with his goal, but it's
Wide.
the first wide of the afternoon, and the first wide for St. Mary's. They're rampant at the moment, Mossy.
Yeah, they're dictating the pace of the game at the moment, the Marys. I think St.Michaels Foilmore will have to get the grips of it around the middle of the field. The kick-outs are crucial here. Try and win a few breaks. Good kick-out there by Jason O'Shea.
Yeah, they have to change their kick-out strategy. I think that's a high one from Kieran O'Driscoll.
High tackle.
Be lucky if he doesn't get a card from that.
Absolutely, he got away with it. Should have been could have been a booking.
Well, more awkwardness again, as I say, rather than malicious intent, but it was definitely on the border of being a yellow, but he didn't get one. Now, this is St. Michaels Foilmore, who need to start motoring if they can. Alan Goggin is over there on the far side of the field. He'll give it inside to 24, who's Shane. Shane Goggin plays it inside again now. St. Michaels Foilmore, the Goggin boys are doing well inside there. Space has opened up. Shane Goggin was looking for the opening score.
Great
and
kick.
Shane Goggin
Off
has
the left
got the
leg,
first
super
point.
kick, super kick.
Badly needed score for St. Michaels Foilmore, and Shane Goggin, the man who provided it. 1-1 to 1 point in 5 minutes gone, Mossy.
Yeah, they needed to get their hands on the ball there, St. Michaels Foilmore, and they did, and a nice patient build up and a great kick over there by Shane Goggin.
So
Great
this
kick.
is the first kick out from Brian Sheehan now. Brian looking up, seeing what his options are out around the middle. Not much trying to split the defence there is the halfback Darragh O'Sullivan and Conor O'Shea. Brian goes long out over to his right hand sideline over there. The break has gone the way of St. Mary's again in Cian O'Donoghue. Cian O'Donoghue inside now to Jack Daly. Jack Daly gone well inside the 45-metre line. He's now gone inside the 20-metre line. Still Jack Daly. He's spraying it outside here. Ben O'Donoghue calling for it with his hands aloft now. He gets his hands on it. Aidan Walsh completely loose over here on this side of the field, and Aidan Walsh has got his hands on it. St. Michaels Foilmore half-back line are standing off their men a little bit too far. This is Conor O'Shea going through again. Still Conor O'Shea. Good hits being put in there now. This is much better. And that was Donna Shockrow. Conor O'Shea has it inside again, and here's danger. Anthony Curnan to Aidan Walsh, and Aidan Walsh back to Anthony Curnan.
Ah, super goal. Well worked goal by St. Mary's. The goalkeeper's calling here. Is there an infringement or something?
The referee is going in. Is he allowing it? He's not. It's a free out. Disallowed. He was inside in the square. Disallowed goal. So, but it does show how easily that St. Mary's are able to open up this defence, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Probably a bit of overplaying there by Aidan. Aidan Welsh might have gone for his own score there, but opted to pass it into Anthony Curnan.
Now there's an injury over there in the far side, and that looks like, is it Alex Coffey? Can't see from quite here, Mossy, but he's in fair agony and he's gone down injured, and the referee's going to play on without him. We'll keep an eye on it. Which one of them is? I think it is Alex Coffey.
It's a long kick out
I
here.
could be wrong. Anyway, the kick out towards the sideline here. Up they'll go for it. Conor Shea sandwiched. And I mean sandwiched, and he felt that one. He fell very heavily to the ground right in front of the stair of the linesman, Michael Moriarty, down here, but it's going to be a line ball, I think.
St. Michael's Foilmore ball.
So that goal disallowed. It remains 1-1 to 1 point. And Donna Shockrow takes it back here now to Mikey Scanlon. 1-1 to 1 point. 7 minutes gone here in a lovely day for football here in Waterville. Didn't get the torrential rain in South Kerry in it. The weather was forecast last night. Maybe they did around the rest of the country, but certainly we escaped it down here. Ben Donoghue doing a lot of good covering up over there. That St. Mary's player is still down injured, Mossy, and I think it is Alex Coffey, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I'd say it looks like Alex, all right.
It's a high one. It was a high shoulder there by Darren Casey, and he made a fair rattle there from, I think it was from Mark King, but anyway, both of them have lived to fight another day. Conor O'Shea now over there. Conor spraying it to Darragh Sullivan. Darragh Sullivan to Aidan Walsh. This guy's doing an awful lot of moving. Alex Coffey's doing a bit of moving over there on the far side as well. We're keeping an eye on him. This is a high ball driven long inside by Daniel Daly. Daniel Daly does well to win it independently.
Well
and Daniel Daly with
well
a great
fielded.
score.
Well fielded. Great kick in by Jack Daly from the wing. Marys are using the whole width of the field, Gary. They're moving from side to side.
They are indeed. St. Mary's 1-2 to St. Michael's Foilmore 1 point. And they are back now again, as things weren't bad for St. Michael's Foilmore, but St. Mary's are back to their full complement of players now. That injury has been well and truly sorted over there in the far sideline, and the kick out again from Jason O'Shea, and Alex Coffey, the injured man, is back. And so he is running again is Aidan Walsh. Aidan Walsh is causing serious problems.
He's running all over the place, yeah. There's nobody seems to be picking him up.
No.
Donna Shockrow picked him up at the start, but Aidan seems to be getting... Look at this, look, Conor Shea.
Michael Foilmore need to put a marker on him. This is Cian O'Donoghue going through. Danger here. Oh! He went for the daisy cutter, so he did, Cian O'Donoghue. That's 2 wides for St. Mary's, no wide yet for St. Michaels Foilmore. But yeah, Aidan Walsh, they need to put a man marker on him because he's doing an awful lot of damage in the first
Absolutely,
8
yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, I don't know what role Dunno seems to have gone back into the middle, but Aidan Walsh is actually following Aidan Walsh now, yeah.
9 minutes gone, 1-2 to St. Mary's, 1 point to St. Michael's Foilmore, and Jason O'Shea again with the kick out. He's going to vary it now this time. He'll go to the right hand side, and that's the stand side of the field. Up then rise for it. Driscoll will go up for it. There's a little bit of a nudge there, but getting away from it was Alan Goggin. Can he get down on the ball here now? Breaks there to be won, and Alan Goggin is the man that has it. Over there with him is Matthew O'Sullivan. Matthew now will use all his strength and his ability inside there. It's a lovely little ball, and it's broken inside here nicely for Luke O'Shea. And Luke O'Shea has put it
wide
to the left and wide. That's the first wide for St. Michael's Foilmore. Trying to get the ball into Matthew O'Sullivan is a bit of a task at the moment, Mossy, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Matt, they need to start feeding Matthew, trying to get him into the game. He's a big player for them. Ian Sullivan hasn't touched the ball either. I don't think Gary has it.
I haven't mentioned him yet either, it's correct. Ian O'Sullivan, one of the main men for St. Michael's Foilmore. It's a settling period as well and truly over now. We're 10 minutes gone here in Waterville. 1-2 to 1 point in favour of the reigning champions. St. Mary's looking to lift another Jack Murphy. Conor O'Shea, it's a good tackle gone in there. That's gone out off the boot there though of Shane Goggin. And Conor O'Shea will win this one. Conor will play it back here now to Oisin Moran. Oisin Moran giving it to Jack Daly, and Jack Daly giving it to Anthony Cornan. Kieran Driscoll now. Kieran Driscoll on the D for St. Mary's. Plenty of white jerseys calling for it inside around the square as well, and so far so good for St. Mary's. They're doing everything right. This is Alex Coffey now trying to get away from the shackles of 3 players. Tygo O'Connor, good work this time for St. Michael's Foilmore. They're much better defending now, much closer to their men. Kieran O'Driscoll on the sideline over there, plays it off again. Tygo O'Connor, the goal scorer. Remember that previous goal was by Anthony Cornan, was disallowed for a square ball infringement. Here's Brian Sheehan out in the middle of the field now, making that extra man. The overlap here is Jack Daly. Jack Daly, they're calling for off the ground. I think there was a hop. I don't think it was off the ground. This is Alex Coffey going through now once again. Alex playing the 1-2 with Conor O'Shea. He's another man doing an awful lot of damage. That's good work there by Andy Connell. Number 10 versus number 10, and the hits are going in much heavier now from St. Michael's Foilmore. They've improved an awful lot in the last couple of minutes. Jack Daly with a high one, and Jack Daly with another point. His first score of the afternoon. 1-3 now to 1 point, Mossy.
Yeah, patient build up by St. Mary's there. They seem to be controlling, dictating the play at this point in time. St. Michael's Foilmore need to get their hands on the ball and, put their stamp on this game.
Well, Jason O'Shea with another kick out to come. 11 minutes and 40 seconds gone here now in Waterville. Slight breeze favouring St. Michael's Foilmore. Nothing too significant, but a very slight breeze. And O'Shea drives it out. Andy O'Connor will be the St. Michael's Foilmore player, and he was climbing all over the back of Conor O'Shea. And Eddie Walsh from Rathmore, the referee, says a free to St. Mary's, and on they go with it again. Darren Casey inside to Anthony Cornan. Anthony Cornan, 50 yards out from goal inside to Kieran O'Driscoll now, approaching the 45-metre line. Kieran O'Driscoll handling, leaving him down there for a moment, and is lucky to get away with it there. Alex Coffey and O'Sullivan almost got his hands on it. But St. Mary's have it again. Their half-back line, Mossy, is dominant at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, they're picking up the breaks and they're really attacking St. Michael's Foilmore in this first half. Conor O'Shea again, looking to get away with that, maybe overplayed it a small bit.
Here's Darren Casey going through, and that's a good spoil there by Shane Goggin. It's back to Conor O'Shea. He's been advised to shoot for the point. He takes the advice, but he's pulled it to the right and wide. Liam Brosnan, the former Kerry footballer, I had a chat with Liam before the game, is one of the umpires down there. So inter-county man, former inter-county man, doing the umpiring for St. Michael's for the match for this game this afternoon. But yeah, the likes of Conor O'Shea and Cian O'Donoghue, they're attacking at ease at the moment, aren't they?
They are, yeah, they are. It's a hard game. It seems to be one way. Well held by Matthew there. Well held. They need to get their hands on the ball and really attack the Marys now from here.
Here now is Donna Shockrow. Matthew O'Sullivan there with him again now. O'Sullivan taking his time, looking and seeing what his options are. One of the options there is number 24, who's Mark King. Spraying it out over to the far side of the field. That's Stephen O'Connor over there, the captain. Stephen O'Connor, Ian O'Sullivan now getting his hands for the first meaningful time on the ball, and we're gone 13 minutes of this contest. Matthew O'Sullivan now looking up, just one man to play inside there, overcooked it, and Brian Sheehan will mop it up here, and Brian Sheehan will nonchalantly solo out here about 25, 30
Aidan
yards
Walsh
out
again
from goal.
is handling a pile of ball all right, Gary, isn't he?
He's on a world of ball, is Aidan Walsh, and he's doing well with every ball that he's on, which is more dangerous for St. Michaels Foilmore. Mikey Scandon gives it inside now, or trying to get it on there to Aidan Walsh. Daniel Daly to Anthony Cornan now. Brian Sheehan again coming to the middle. Kieran Driscoll breaking the tackle is Anthony Cornan, running into a little bit of a cul-de-sac at the moment. Back it goes to Ben Donoghue, got 2 points against Drummond in their quarter-final, yet to score. No doubt before this game is over, he will score. He's one of the best forwards in the business, this guy. Here is Dara Sullivan now as well. Dara inside to Daly again. Daniel Daly, is there a tug on the jersey? Eddie Walsh didn't see much of it. Now he decides to give the free in and another scoreable free.
Daniel Daly is getting ball there now today. Gary, one of his better games for St. Mary's in a long time. And Daniel really knows where to score if he gets in close to the goal.
Well, Brian Sheehan coming up for this one. The significance, Massey, of Brian Sheehan coming up for what I would call relatively close-in frees. I mean, is there an argument that surely one of the forwards should be able to take these frees?
Absolutely. Normally, that's Sean Conan is not on the field at the moment, and that's Anthony Conan territory. But I suppose they have decided Brian is the man.
When you have the best free taker in Ireland, you might as well utilise him. And Brian again pulls the trigger, and Brian will raise another white flag for St. Mary's, and that's his second of the afternoon. So 15 gone, Massey, 15 to go. One-way traffic so far.
At the moment, yeah, Marys have dominated this game. It's one-way traffic at the moment. Marys is spraying the ball all over the field. Wing backs are coming up and they're bursting through. Unlucky maybe not to have another goal on the scoreboard as well.
Kick out now again from Jason O'Shea. Ian O'Sullivan trying to get it in his hands there. Kieran Driscoll felt that one. I think it might have been actually a collision with his own man over there.
Cian O'Donoghue and Kieran Driscoll.
Absolutely, two of them went for the same ball there. This is Jack Daly, the score of 1 point already. Again, St.Michaels Foilmore looking up and seeing how many white shirts are there to mark. There's a whole host of them over on this side of the field, and Cian Donoghue doing an awful lot of attacking. Himself and Conor Shea from the half-back line are combining well, and here are the same two again. They're opening up the defence, but one pass too many. And
Ben might have been better off turning Gary, having a pot at the post himself.
Absolutely. There. Kieran Clifford, yes, did a great defensive work there. This ball needs to be won here now. Niall Sullivan comes for it. Niall does well. Holding it in the middle of the field here now. Back it goes. Kieran Clifford and Kieran Driscoll. There's going to be a push. Back says the referee. Back you go with it. And here to take this free is Dara O'Sullivan. St. Michaels Foilmore need to get their hands on more ball inside in this forward line, try and pull a few frees if they can. Then first of all need to get it out of defence, if at all possible.
Donna
Shockrow, yeah, getting away from Kieran O'Driscoll, spraying it over there now to the far side to Mikey Scanlon again. Now Mikey's on his bike. This guy has pace. This guy can do damage if he goes forward. Calling for it inside there was Matthew Sullivan. Now he's got his hands on the ball. He was just a couple of yards from him there, and he was calling all the time. And this is Stephen O'Connor now. Stephen, member of the South Kerry squad, captain of this afternoon. Donna Shockrow, grabbed inside there now by Alan Goggin. Alan Goggin calling for it. Matthew O'Sullivan not giving it to him on this occasion. Only 2 men up front now for St. Michaels Foilmore, and this is a loose man coming up from the back. This Kieran Clifford. The score is there now if he's able to take it. He's only about 25 yards out from goal. Wide. Oh, he's pulled it badly to the right and wide. They would have done well with that score, Mercy, wouldn't they?
Could do it in the score at this stage. It's far from out of it, but it would be nice if they got a score or two to bring it back into it.
17.5, 17:47 gone. 1-4 to 1 point in favour of St. Mary's again. And as Mossy said earlier on, they do have the upper hand in semi-finals. These two sides down through the years. So far, you'd be justifying the odds that St. Mary's were 10-1 on by the bookmakers to win this match this afternoon. So far, so good for them. Darren Casey spraying it inside again to Daniel Daly. Daniel Daly fouled there by Kevin Griffin.
That's harsh there. I think Daniel actually slipped that time and was fortunate enough to get a free there. I don't think Kevin Griffin did anything wrong there.
Well, Brian Sheehan is nonchalantly trotting his way up again, and it's ideal for a left-footed player, but of course Brian is deadly accurate with the right boot as well, and is just on the D about 20 yards in from the sideline of the 20-metre line, and Brian Sheehan a very, very tight angle for a right-footed kicker, but Then again, this is Brian Sheehan. He's not a normal free taker in the South Kerry Championship. This is one of the best. Sheehan is lining it up again now. Breeze is blowing into his face. He'll probably aim for the right-hand post and hoping that it'll carry it on.
It's not an easy one, Gary, for a right-legged kicker, you'd imagine.
Not. It's curling, as predicted. The wind did rise it across the face of the goal. It goes, and it's kept in play there by Ty Connor. Ty Connor, any loose man outside him, there is. This is Daniel Daly. Daniel Daly getting it back from Anthony Cornan. Cornan trying to find a gap, trying to find an opening. Ty Connor has found that opening, and Ty Connor has put it
wide.
To the right and wide. There was a touch, actually, Mossy. It's a 45-metre kick.
Okay.
The referee has signalled a touch.
Fortunate enough to get that one, in fairness.
Maybe sometimes St. Mary's are trying to walk it in too easy into the goal.
I think they're overplaying it at times, Gary. Definitely, absolutely. From the word go, you know, they're taking that pass too much out of it. You know, whereas fellas that are 20, 21 yards out, they should be having a shot at the goal.
I would agree. This 45 is dead straight in front of the post for Brian Sheehan now. Peter Lyons and Mike Moriarty, the linesmen, the respective linesmen this afternoon, as they have been for all of the South Kerry Championship, doing a fine job down there. Brian Sheehan now, 45 metres out from goal. This to make it 1-5 to a point as we approach the final 10 minutes of this first half here in Waterville. Here's Brian again. He's not happy with it. He left a bit of a grunt after he kicking it. That's 4 wides now for St. Mary's, and it remains 1-4 to 1 point. But I think maybe Jason O'Shea might even have to rethink his kick-out strategy, Mossy. Maybe the shot. The only point they got in the game came from a shot kick out.
Yeah, but there's nobody looking for it, Gary. They seem to be going long the game plan. It's going long again.
It's gone long again, now to the middle of the field. Matthew O'Sullivan will rise high for this. Matthew breaks it down again, but gathered here by Dara O'Sullivan. Dara and Kieran Driscoll on his shoulder if he needs him, but he decides to go route one inside again, looking for Daniel Daly out ahead of Kevin Griffin again. Daniel Daly, very tight angle. That's a super score.
He's a man that's really on fire today, is Daniel Daly. Super kick.
Second point of the afternoon from Daniel Daly. And Kevin Griffin did all he could that time. He stood him up. He put him in a very tight angle, but it wasn't tight enough. And Daniel Daly, second point of the afternoon, makes it 1-5 now to 1 point. So wherever you're tuned in, all over the world this afternoon, we even have people in Holland, Mossy, listening to us this afternoon,
yes,
haven't we?
Emma Quigley is watching over in Holland, so her sister Kira sends her regards and best wishes.
It does indeed, and her mom has assured me that she's got lovely sandwiches made for tomorrow, so we'll have to look ahead to that for tomorrow. Will we be treated like royalty with tomorrow in the Conch Eating Park? That remains to be seen. Anyway, we'll get over with today first. Ian O'Sullivan, his team badly needs scores. Stephen O'Connor. Stephen plays it back to Kieran Clifford. Clifford sprays it inside, looking for Alan Goggin inside over on that side, and Andy Connell as well, but it's just not happening up front for St.Michaels Foilmore this afternoon.
Jack Daly on the burst here.
They'll be very disappointed with this first half. They're much better than this, our St.Michaels Foilmore. This is Jack Daly. Jack Daly trying to cut inside again, and it's opened up alarmingly, and Jack Daly punches it over the bar.
Great run by Jack. All the way from the back, won by Alex Coffey. Passed it off to, and Jack got the return and away he went.
1-6 to 1 point. 22 minutes gone here in a very one-sided first half here in the South Kerry semi-final. And remember, of course, St. Michaels Foilmore had a 15 points to 13 win over Renard in the quarter-final, while St. Mary's beat Drummond 114 to 11. But at the moment, it's one-way traffic here. Jason O'Shea decides to go short. Ben Donoghue's the man who was alive. Ben Donoghue to Alex Coffey. Alex Coffey again, looking up. Half back line will come into play now. They're taking a breather, I think, in actual fact, for the moment.
It's not really happening for St. Michaels Foilmore at the minute, Kerry, is it?
No, definitely not. Couldn't really say that there's one man winning his own individual battle out there, which is disappointing. Unless the team talk at half-time will do anything for them now.
Yeah, St. Mary's dictating everything at the moment at their own terms.
Cian O'Donoghue over the top again for Aidan Walsh. Aidan Walsh getting inside his man, tug of the jersey, it's over the bar. Aidan Walsh gets his first point of the afternoon. 1-7 now to 1 point. I suppose from a St. Michaels Foilmore management, they'll have to come up with some sort of a plan, Mossy, but I don't know where you start.
Well, they have to get their hands on the ball first, Gary. So like you said before, maybe the short kick outs, they're going long, they're not winning it, so they have to change something.
Yeah.
And all the pressure is on their back line. Like, there's nothing happening up in the Brian Sheehan is on the 45 for St. Mary's. There's nothing happening inside their 45 at the moment.
The moment is right. Another high one from Jason O'Shea out to the middle of the field. The break has gone the way this time of St.Michaels Foilmore. And Dennis Shockrow sold a lovely little dummy there.
Alex
He was
Coffey
pulled down
jumped in
by
his back.
Alex Coffey.
Robbie style. He was lucky he wasn't booked for that.
Absolutely lucky not to get a card for that one. Ian O'Sullivan now. He was the master of the 2-pointers up in Foilmore in the previous round. They badly need a 2-pointer,
Yeah, this is well within Ian's range here. Just outside the arc, you would be expecting him to go very close with this one and actually put it over.
Ian O'Sullivan to take this one. He got 4 2-pointers in the previous round. He's after getting one today. And a badly needed one of that. Ian O'Sullivan getting a badly needed 2-pointer for St. Michaels Foilmore. 1-7 to 3 points now as we approach the final 5 minutes of this game. But again, that came from the likes of Shockrow running at the defence. But as you say, it starts with getting your hand on the ball.
But these 2-pointers, Gary, as we have seen in the last couple of weeks, the 2-pointers make a big difference. So, like, there's, you know, a couple of 2-pointers would turn this game around as well.
Kick out this time. And Ian O'Sullivan
Ian
has it again.
going for another 2-pointer here.
Still Ian. St. Mary's gone a little bit slack there now in the last couple of minutes. Another free, exactly in the same position. See where he took the previous one.
This looks like to be another 2-pointer for Ian O'Sullivan.
Well, you'd imagine if he was successful 60 seconds ago.
A bit of indiscipline there by St.Marys. I think it was Darren Casey that gave away, you know, a bit of pulling.
Well, this is a badly needed 2-pointer again. It's easy from up here saying that if you were successful 60 seconds ago, you should be successful in this one, but Ian is good.
The referee telling Darren Casey to back away from it.
Ian O'Sullivan now. Crowd goes quiet. They badly need a 2-pointer. He has the shot, he has the range, he has the distance, he's got everything. That's the second 2-pointers, and that's even put a little bit of a kick in the crowd, Massey, hasn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. I said just the tonic Barry Foilmore needed just before half time. 4 points in 2 minutes.
1-7 to 5 points now. Approaching the 26th minute. The kick out coming from Brian Sheehan now. Who's going to get their hands on the ball from this one? 8 versus 8 outside there. Stephen O'Connor and Jack Daly. Over it goes to the middle of the field, and there's a break there. Was Coffey climbing?
Broke it.
They're saying that he was over on the far side, but the referee didn't quite see it like that. And I think for the first time, Cian O'Shea got his touch of the ball over there.
It's game on now, Gary. Both teams are up for it, and the crowd are getting going here as well. You know, it's just a few scores. What Foilmore needed.
4 minutes to go to the half-time break. That's running into the tackle there was Dara O'Sullivan, pulled to the ground by another O'Sullivan. That's Ian. And this is a 2-point range now, Massey, for Brian Sheehan, and no doubt he'll have a cut at it.
I'm looking at the 45-metre line, Gary. It's about 55 metres in here, is it?
It is. And the more and more people look at Brian Sheehan's, the longer they're getting every year. And some freezes, I've been told some guy, it was 90 yards out. Well, he's good, but I don't know if he got good from 90 yards out. But this one certainly is about 50, 55 anyway. And I wouldn't rule against him. Brian Sheehan, this is what the crowds come to see. 1-7 to 5 points. Brian Sheehan exactly on 27 minutes. It's high, it's curling, it's long, but it's gone up the upright inside. And the man alive to it was Niall O'Sullivan. And Niall O'Sullivan wins the free.
Lucky free there, Gary. In fairness, I don't think Ben O'Donoghue was done a whole pile wrong there. Soft enough free.
Well,
pull there.
Those uprights can be your friend or they can be your enemy. Depends which way you look at it. That time they were the friend of St. Michaels Foilmore. Matthew O'Connell now, or Andy O'Connell rather, over there. Kevin Griffin.
St. Michaels Foilmore seem to be gone into a different gear now, Gary. They're lively all over the field now.
Indeed. Mikey Scanlon now. Matthew looking for a 2-pointer. Matthew high, but Matthew's pulled it right and wide. The referee, they were calling for a... Actually, St. Mary's have only two. They'd only 2 men up. There was a breach. There was a breach. They definitely had only 2 players up front. And I've said this, Massey, previous rounds, and I'm going on record of saying this. I don't blame linesmen at all for this, because it's a very hard job to do when you're linesman, being up and down. What needs to be done, even in the championship here, there needs to be a 4th official put on the line, and he does nothing else, only watch the breaches.
Yeah. There's so many rules now in the GA, Gary, and you know, with these 2-point scores, even keeping a record of them in the normal games, it's very difficult.
Absolutely. If you're running the line and if a ball goes into the corner flag, you're expected to be above there in the corner flag.
Ian is bringing it out here to 2-point range again.
So a 2-pointer on the offering for that breach by St. Mary's. They didn't have 3 players up. And it is 1-7 to 5 points as we approach the final minute and a half of this contest. Badly needed score from Ian O'Sullivan. Has he pulled it left? Has he judged it? He's judged it to perfection. Ian O'Sullivan with his third 2-pointer.
Game on, Gary. Game on.
Only 3 points in it now. 177 as we approach the final.
What a turnaround, Gary, in 7 minutes, in 5 minutes actually. 3 2-point scores. Their tails really will be up at halftime now after
They're
this.
game changers, these 2-pointers. They're good if you're behind. Here's Brian Sheehan now, again out to the middle of the field. Now possession, Ian O'Sullivan will go up for it. The ball is breaking the side, sling down was Keane O'Donoghue. The break has gone the way of St.Michaels. Foilmore again. Oh, that was a very late one. Darren Casey on Ian O'Sullivan, the referee said play on. It's Mikey Scanlon, Stephen Connor, Alan Goggin, pulled to the ground. Darren Casey probably get a yellow here, I'd say.
Doing a lot of stupid stuff there, Darren, in fairness, giving away silly frees around the arc there. 2-point scores. Sure, Ian O'Sullivan is loving this.
Yeah, well, there was a late tackle there on Ian O'Sullivan. I'd be surprised now if he doesn't call number 7.
Yeah, that was a tackle on Alan Goggin, but I think Alan Goggin pulled his man down to the ground a bit of
both, yeah.
He was using his head, I think.
Yeah. Now, let's see what's the referee. He's not going to take any action, but he's going to give it loud this free.
We're on the 30 minutes time.
We're bang on the button. What'll he allow? About a minute or two. He won't allow much. This is a huge kick now for Ian O'Sullivan. Oh, he's judged it again beautifully. St.Michaels Foilmore are back into this game. Big time. Ian O'Sullivan. Maybe this game is not over. We thought it was about 10 or 15 minutes ago, but it's 1-7 to 8 points now.
The wind is picking up a bit here, Gary. It's suiting the team that are playing down the field.
Certainly
St.Michaels Foilmore had the advantage in the first half.
Brian Sheehan, we'll have no
Half
more.
time.
1-7 to 8 points, Mossy. Complete turnaround here now.
Absolutely, in 5 minutes, big turnaround. 1-7 to a point. It's 1-7 to 8 points now.
So, I suppose, if you were to send Michael's Foilmore, Minter, what would you be thinking now at half-time? I mean, they're well stuck on it now.
Absolutely. I mean, them scores have to bring him right back into the game, so they will be happy out. They will be gunning to get back out in the field for the second half.
Probably half-time came at the wrong time for St. Michael's Foilmore, I would think.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Anyway, still we won't rule out St. Mary's. That's it from us. That's the first half done and dusted. 1-7 to St. Mary's, 8 points to St. Michael's Foilmore. We'll take a break. We'll have a cup of tea and a sandwich, and we'll be back to you for the second half very shortly.
Hello, I'm Declan Sugaroof from 3DS Designs. We specialise in property design, planning permission and construction from initial concept through to completion. We start by meeting you to understand your vision and requirements. Our first step is percolation testing to specify the correct septic tank system for your property. Next, we consult with county councils to gather their feedback before submitting the full planning permission application. Once planning permission is granted, we finalise project costs and manage the build process. If you qualify for grants, such as the Vacant Property Home Grant or SCAI Home Improvement Grants, we'll apply on your behalf. Note that these do not apply to new builds. We also handled BER assessments in-house. Throughout construction, we agree on a target completion date and work to deliver on schedule. By choosing 3DS designs, Hello, I'm Declan Sugaroo from 3DS Designs. We specialise in property design, planning permission and construction from initial concept through to completion. We start by meeting you to understand your vision and requirements. Our first step is percolation testing to specify the correct septic tank system for your property. Next, we consult with county councils to gather their feedback before submitting the full planning permission application. Once planning permission is granted, we finalise project costs and manage the build process. If you qualify for grants, such as the Vacant Property Home Grant or SCAI Home Improvement Grants, we'll apply on your behalf. Note that these do not apply to new builds. We also handle BER assessments in-house. Throughout construction, we agree on a target completion date and work to deliver on schedule. By choosing 3DS Designs as your main contractor, you have one point of contact under one roof, ensuring a seamless end-to-end build process.
Right, yeah.
Right, then you're very welcome back here to Waterville for the start of the second half here now, and we're looking around. We don't see any changes in personnel. Having a quick gaze around here, I don't think there are, but all sides look to be as they finished. But what a finish it was to St.Michaels Foilmore, and Mossy, I suppose maybe St.Marys won the first 20 minutes, but definitely St.Michaels Foilmore won the last 10.
Oh, they went in happy at half time, Gary. 3 massive 2-point frees by Ian O'Sullivan, and another close in one as well by 7 points by Ian in the first half. He's after moving out here to the wing forward position, being picked up by Keane O'Donoghue for the second half.
Eddie Walsh throws the ball in. We're on the way. 2-point lead now for St. Marys. And it's the Battle of the Saints, St. Marys and St. Michaels Foilmore. And the first touch in the second half, it is for Stephen O'Connor, the captain. Will he be leading his team into the final? The next 30 minutes will decide who will play either Waterville or Skellig Rangers. That, of course, will be brought to you tomorrow from the Conkeating Park in Carsavine. Conor Shea doing well for St. Mary's, getting the ball back here now to Cian O'Donoghue. Cian O'Donoghue on the overlap there, coming up from deep is Cian O'Shea, brother of Connor's. Cian now plays it back again into the middle to Jack Daly. Scorers of 2 points in that first half. Brian Sheehan the 2 frees, Jack Daly a 2 from play. Aidan Walsh a point from play. Daniel Daly with 2 from play, and Tig O'Connor with a goal. That was the St. Mary's return. 3 2-pointers from Ian O'Sullivan and a free from him as well, and Shane Goggin with a point. That's the turnaround. Here comes Brian Sheehan now, approaching the 45-metre line. Still Brian Sheehan, taking a little bit too much out of it, but took 2 solos there across, gives it to Conor O'Shea. On the overlap, it's space here now, coming through, and that's gone over the bar. Is that that's Alex Coffey, is it, or is it Jack Daly? I'm not quite sure. It's Jack Daly, I think. That's first blood to the second half for St. Mary's.
Yeah, they needed that score, Gary, because, I mean, they were a bit rattled going there at half time. I mean, St. Michaels Foilmore really put it up to them there in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
That's the 3rd point for Jack Daly now from play.
Yeah, he's motoring well today in the middle of the field, Jack is.
The kick out coming from Jason O'Shea. A goal in it again, 1-8 to 8. Up they'll go for it. High goes Kieran O'Driscoll, but leaving the ball after him. Was there a touch on the ground? Referee Eddie Walsh didn't quite see it like that. St. Mary's trying to get the ball back, and they have got it back. And it's Kieran O'Driscoll now, surrounded by 3 or 4 jerseys. Running in there was Darren Casey. Great tackling. Took too much out of it. Touched the ball on the ground, says the referee. St. Michaels Foilmore have it back. There's a pep in their step. That's a high challenge from Aidan Walsh.
High tackle, yeah.
Mikey Scanlon, the number 7. That's the management of Jonathan Lane, Pierce McGill, Roger Harty and Andrew Field. They, of course, are the management opposing them, Noel Kernan, Jordy O'Sullivan and John Sheehan. Here now again, Stephen O'Connor looking for Jason, or for
Luke O'Shea.
Luke O'Shea is right, getting it inside there. They don't want to give away a free here. This is very close territory. That's Ian O'Sullivan. It wasn't. It's Donna Shuckrow who's completely surrounded inside there, gone very scrappy. 6 is the way the man there, Donna Shuckrow. Shuckrow plays it outside to Stephen O'Connor. Calling for it is Matthew O'Sullivan. Matthew's got Ian with him. Ian O'Sullivan now looking up, spraying it over nicely here. Much better. Alan Goggin now. Alan Goggin into space again for Luke O'Shea. Luke O'Shea, tight angle. Oh, it hits the upright. It might be alive too. There is Jack Griffin, but he's not. Brian Sheehan is the first man to react.
Off the post again.
Off the post, a let off for St. Mary's. Advantage given to Alex Coffey over there. Still advantage, I think. 2 advantages, 3 advantages given to him now.
Just outside the arc, I'd say. 2-point territory here for Brian Sheehan, I'd imagine.
Definitely so. Brian Sheehan making his way up just outside the 45-metre line. Alex Coffey, very late challenge on him. 1-8 to 8 points. Much better, livelier game here now in Waterville, and Brian Sheehan to take this one outside the D. And again, whatever bit of a breeze there now is favouring Brian Sheehan in the
He's just inside the arc, to say.
in the second half. He is just inside it, all right. Brian Sheehan slightly to the left of the post. And Jason O'Shea there calling for reinforcements. And back on the line, 3 men, 2 men back there with him. Here's Brian Sheehan. This to put a 4-point lead in it now. 33-50 gone. Sheehan judges it again to perfection. It's another white flag for Brian Sheehan. That's his 3rd free of the afternoon. And it's a 4-point gap now. St. Michaels Foilmore need to respond now, Massey, don't they? They need to get the next score to stay with them.
It's still on the balance, Kerry. You know, next couple of scores could tell a tale.
Jason O'Shea going to his right. Matthew O'Sullivan will go high. Broken down there well by Alex Coffey. St. Michaels Foilmore man has it. That's Matthew O'Sullivan over on the far side. Playing it back, calling for, that's a bit of a late tackle got in there.
Alex Coffey.
I think, you know,
the tackles are going in there, Gary, from both sides even, you know.
They are, and you know, I don't know what way would you look at Eddie Walsh is probably letting a lot go, but there are a few of these tackles that would have warranted cards on both sides.
Absolutely, there could have been 3 or 4 yellow cards up to this stage.
In fact, there is going to be a card for this one.
Alex Coffey.
Alex Coffey is getting, this is the first card of the afternoon. Yes, a yellow card for Alex Coffey. 5 minutes into the second half. First card of the afternoon here in this keenly contested South Kerry semi-final. Matthew O'Sullivan again, fouled there by Dara O'Sullivan. And if you think there's a lot of O'Sullivans here today, wait till you get to tomorrow, you'll see how many will be involved inside the Conkeating Park. Here's Ian O'Sullivan going through. Ian, advantage is given. This is a cracking kick from Ian O'Sullivan. A 1-pointer. It's his first from play, Ian O'Sullivan. And he's bringing his side back into it.
Super point. Making it a one score game again.
Absolutely. Ian O'Sullivan getting the first score from play here this afternoon. Cian O'Donoghu's marking him here now. He seems to be around centre forward, I think, Ian O'Sullivan.
Brian seems to be going long with this one.
Brian does go long. Busy around the middle. Great catch by Jack Daly. 3 points from play. Jack slipping inside to Ben O'Donoghue. I said he didn't score yet, and I think maybe this is the end of the famine for Ben O'Donoghue. And it is, I think. That's the first score from Ben O'Donoghue of the afternoon.
Long kick out by Brian Sheehan. Well won by Jack Daly in the middle of the field. Offloaded to Ben, and Ben gets his first score of the game.
Well, it's a good sign of a team that they react after a point being conceded. Come straight down the field, St. Mary's, and again put a 4-point gap between the sides. 6 minutes into the second half, 1-10 to 9 points. Jason O'Shea, Matthew O'Sullivan, There was a push
I think
there.
that free should have been the other way, Gary.
I think so. I think
He
he
is
said,
pointing the other way.
and I think he said white ball. So he said white ball, Eddie Walsh, but he gave the free to St. Michaels Foilmore anyway. Genuine mistake by him. Tygo O'Connor, the goal scorer. There's going to be a free here against Aidan Walsh.
Off the ball. I don't know what happened there.
Aidan
There was a
Walsh
clash or
found
something.
Donna Shuckrow.
Yeah, there was a clash there. I didn't see it.
He took him out of it while the play was going on. Aidan Walsh pulled back Donna Shuckrow and well spotted by the referee, Eddie Walsh. And there's a substitute coming on the St. Michaels Foilmore team. That's DJ Morden coming in there, Massey. And I think it's Andy Connell that's going off.
Looks like Andy, all right, yeah.
So he'll have his experience, the former manager himself. DJ Morden is in. Andy Connell is gone. St. Michaels Foilmore now, taking their time, building this ball out of defence. And Kieran Clifford, Ian O'Sullivan. Now to Stephen O'Connor, the captain.
Game on
loose
inside.
man inside was Kieran Clifford. If he spotted him, he'd made a glorious run, and he's still loose inside there. Kieran Driscoll is the first man to spot him here now with Matthew O'Sullivan. Over to DJ Morden. First touch for DJ. DJ now will take on Darren Casey. Calling for possession again. DJ Morden. DJ looking up. Legs will be fresh anyway. Full of energy now for the final.
They're holding on to the ball, Gary. They're doing the right thing here, you know, just
Recycling
patient.
it. Yeah, for the final.
A goal would put a lot of life into this game if Valley Foilmore, Gary, wouldn't it?
Certainly would. Now, if there was level, there would be extra time today, but there would not be penalties. There are no penalties in the semi-final of the South Kerry Championship. It would be a drawn game, but that's an awful lot of ifs so far. Mikey Scanlon, St. Michaels Foilmore to take a draw at this stage, so they would. Here's Donna Shuckrow. Referee getting in the way as well. Looking to see the linesman now. Peter Lyons on this side, watching to see is there a breach. St. Mary's are very close to that halfway line. DJ Morden now working the ball in again. Kieran Clifford over there with him. Now, this is a hit and hope one. Holy Mary full of grace. A bit of a nudge by Brian Sheehan and his man, and he got away with it though. There was a slight nudge on Luke O'Shea.
Absolutely, he was looking to get away with that one.
Ball is transferred out here now to Aidan Walsh, inside to Alex Coffey.
Around
Alex Coffey fouled
that
around
should
the
be
neck.
booking here as well, Gary, if he is to go by the last one.
That's a card, I'd say. That's Luke O'Shea. That's Jason's brother Luke. He'll get himself into the referee's notebook now for this one. So the first.
High tackle around the shoulders.
That's a yellow for Luke. Brian Sheehan to take this one out. 60 yards out from his own goal. Transfers it over to Darren Casey, yeah. Darren Casey, 2 men in around the house there now. Tygo O'Connor is one of them.
Ben O'Donoghue on the ball.
Still
Pulled there.
A free to be given. Advantage is given at the moment. Back it goes to Alex Coffey. Going for the 2-pointer, Alex Coffey. Huge effort. This is a massive score.
Massive score. I suppose score of the game, Gary, in fairness.
Absolutely.
And a great time to get it for St. Mary's.
Alex Coffey getting a massive 2-pointer there for his side. 112 now to 9 points. Just 10 minutes into the second half. So they'll have to do it all over again now. St. Mary's have opened up that 6-point lead. And to get back into it now, they'll be looking for 2-pointers. St. Michaels Foilmore. The kick out. Ben O'Donoghue's under it there now and gathers it
Smallest man in the
independently.
field, well run by him.
Well done to Ben O'Donoghue taking on Niall Sullivan. Darren Casey over there with him. Here's Aidan Walsh. Kieran Driscoll is free in the middle if they spot him, but they're going for
Cian O'Donoghue.
Cian O'Donoghue coming up for defence, losing
Taking
possession.
too much out of it. Alex
Oh,
Coffey.
loose. Here's Darren Sullivan. This could wrap it up now if he rounds his man. This must be, and that is a goal for Aidan Walsh.
Well
Aidan
worked by the
Walsh.
Marys, in fairness. Patient. It counts this time, Gary, I think.
The long ball from Jack Daly, it caused endless problems, Massey, but nobody picked up Darren O'Sullivan going through.
Yeah, came up the field there on his own.
Not selfish, squared it nicely. So Darren now is out around, following Matthew O'Sullivan, but 2-12 to 9 points now. Again, huge advantage now for St. Mary's. Sean O'Connor in the middle of the field. Matthew O'Sullivan
Well
wins
run
it
by
himself. Looking up,
Brian
playing
Sheehan
the
is
ball
out of
inside
goal.
for Ian O'Sullivan. He's gone in. Brian Sheehan is out of the goal. Nobody inside. Darren O'Sullivan has gone down injured. First of all, he'll have to be attended to, and second of all, it'll be a free into St. Michaels Foilmore on the D.
I'd say if Ian O'Sullivan won that ball, Gary, it was goalward bound, I think. Brian Sheehan was looking to get back in.
Yeah, He was well out off his line at that stage. And I suppose it's the mentality too, Master, when you're an outfield player all your life, you know. Sometimes for Brian, I suppose it's hard to click in and say, look, I'm supposed to be the goalkeeper.
I suppose, Gary, you know, in any game when you're playing, everybody loves to score.
Yeah,
it's a big part of the game.
They do, yeah, absolutely.
People are slow defending. Every fellow loves to come up the field and get his own name in the scoreboard.
Well, he's looking for medal number 16, is it?
16 this year, yeah.
16. So that's a huge haul of medals for Brian Sheehan, the leading medal holder in the South Kerry Championship. And this now...
Dara seems to be in a bit of trouble here in the middle of the field.
He does. What about the St. Mary's bench, Massey? Who would you be looking at coming in there now? If there's
you have Tyke Sullivan and you have Alex Kelly is another fella, and
options.
Sean Conan then is another man.
So options, yeah, he's ready, he's okay. Darrow Sullivan is okay. Took a bit of a knock there. Now Jack Griffin. Here's Jack Griffin. He scored 3 points in the quarter-final win. He's after getting his first point now of this afternoon. Jack Griffin, a little bit of a trickle of a handshake or a hand clap from the St. Michaels Foilmore supporters. 12 to 10 points. That second goal really now, Massey, you'd imagine has put in a copper fasten on this game.
Yeah, the life seems to be gone out of it a bit there. Like, you know, the start of the second half, it was both teams were buzzing around the place.
Very near the sideline, kept inside there well.
Jack Daly is handling a lot of ball in the middle of the field today, having an outstanding game.
Doing very well. And a score of 3 points to boot. Matthew O'Sullivan was held back by Darrow O'Sullivan.
He's bringing it up. A bit of dissent there.
Ball was thrown away.
It's in 2-point territory here again.
Brian Sheehan calling back reinforcements again. Jack Griffin going in around the square, and following him there is number 19, Cian O'Shea. Now, this is a tight one, or this is a difficult one, Rossi, because he's a left-footed kicker, and he's to the left of the post. He'll really have to judge this one. No, it didn't connect with it at all.
No.
It was a very awkward one in here for a left-footed kicker.
You're right there, Gary. Yeah, probably would have suited a right legged.
I make that the first wide of the second half for St. Michaels Foilmore. And St. Mary's yet to record a wide in the second half. 44 minutes gone in total, 14 minutes into the second half. 12 to 10, substitutes coming in again. We'll keep an eye on it, coming in
24
over
is
there.
gone off.
That's Adam Murphy, I think, coming in. And 24 is Shane Goggin going off. Yeah, that's Adam Murphy, all right. Brian Sheehan out, didn't get a great connection with that one. Bit of a break to be won by St. Mary's, Darren Casey to Aidan Walsh. 1 goal and 1 point from play for Aidan Walsh. Cian O'Shea to Jack Daly.
No green side in the full forward line by St. Mary's. Seem to be all out around the half line.
Kieran Driscoll recycling it well here now. We'll be waiting for our adjudicators to give us our slip of paper soon for who they think is the man of the match this afternoon. Plenty of contenders wearing white jerseys anyway at the moment. Here's Jack Daly. Over the top for Ben Donoghue. The runner is Aidan Walsh. The other runner is Anthony Cronan. And that's a foul committed. And a close and free. And for dissent being shown, it's brought more into the...
Anthony Cronan free, I would imagine here.
Yeah. No need of Brian
Daniel Daly. Good move by St. Mary's there, Gary.
Absolutely.
Ref is calling someone in.
There's a little bit of an argy-bargy amongst a couple of St. Mary's players out here, Massey, in front of it. I'm not quite sure what it's about, but a little bit of a disagreement about something.
Daniel
Daly pops it over for his 3rd point of the afternoon. First free, 13 to 10 points now. Is there a kick in St. Michaels Foilmore? Badly need a goal now at this stage.
Absolutely. They come back into it again.
Can't see 2-pointers or even 1-pointers doing the difference for them here now, but a goal would bring him back into it. It would give them a kick, an injection, which they need. Mark Quigley is the waterman down here in front of us.
There's bound to be a few minutes of added time as well, Gary. I'd imagine there'd be 3 or 4 minutes in here at least.
Absolutely. 16 gone. The kick out from Jason O'Shea over there. Broken. Sean O'Connor, or Stephen O'Connor, doing well around the middle of the field for St. Michaels Foilmore.
Well won.
And here's Mikey Scanlon now. Plenty of green jerseys. Brian Sheehan is backpedaling onto his goal line. Here's Stephen O'Connor. The move is still going, and it's Mikey Scanlon. Mikey Scanlon from in front of the post has put it wide.
Bad wide there, Gary. Scoreable position.
Well, it's the great Wishy Fogarty. You should say to me, Mossy, there's no such thing as a good wide. But that definitely was a bad
Agree with
wide.
you there.
Yeah, he probably should have, could have, I mean, should and could have kept going actually, because it had opened up for Mikey Scanlon. But anyway, again, it's easy for us to be saying it up here. Brian Sheehan with the kick out. The watch is against St.Michaels Foilmore now. 16, almost 17 minutes gone here. 13 to go, plus injury time.
Jack Daly again in the middle
Again,
of the field.
Daly,
He's out to win some great
dominant.
ball.
Here's
on
Conor
the run.
O'Shea looking for his first score of the game. Conor O'Shea
Over the
puts
bar.
it over the bar. Yes, it opened up for Conor, getting his first score of the game.
The St. Mary's half back line, Gary, are doing a lot of running from their half
Yeah.
line up the field
Yeah.
in the first half and coming into there again, supporting their midfield well.
Dominant around the middle of the field, definitely, yeah. Doing a lot of damage. Conor O'Shea there, getting his first score of the match. 14 to 10 points now. Jason O'Shea. Will he go right? Will he go left? Will he go straight down the middle? He more or less goes down the middle. And up there, go for it again. Aidan Walsh to Ben Donoghue. Ben Donoghue again to Alex Coffey. Dara Sullivan calling for it over here. There's advantage to St. Mary's. The hand is aloft from the referee. He'll put his hand up again because that's another free. I think he's giving
Kevin
the first
Griffin
one.
there, yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's Brian Sheehan coming up for this one.
Line is outside the D for this one. So for that great into the first half, must say St. Michaels Fillmore have not added on to it.
No, it's
Just 2 points in
just
their
just 2 points in the
armoury
second
so far,
half, yeah. 2 points
Substitution.
in 18 minutes.
Couple of
28.
substitutions coming in.
Sean Conan is on for the Marys.
Dara Scanlon is coming in for St. Michaels Fillmore. Ben Donoghue been called ashore for St. Mary's, as is Kieran O'Driscoll. So there's a good few
Sean Conan
changes.
is on anyway there. Sean has gone in for Ben, I'd imagine.
Yeah, Kieran O'Driscoll called ashore as
And
well.
Tyg Sullivan is on as well. Number
So-
18.
We have an absolutely perfect view of this one from Brian Sheehan. He'll probably aim it for the right and let the weather conditions do the rest. There is a little bit of a breeze behind him. Here's Brian. He does aim for the right, but he's aimed for too much on the right.
Wide,
And he has
wide.
pulled it to the right. First wide in the second half now for St. Mary's and for Brian Sheehan. 2:14 to 10 points. Will the substitutions make a difference? We'll have to wait and see. The watch now, 19 minutes gone. Stephen O'Connor gathers it in the middle of the field, gives it to Mikey Scanlon. I think he's gone up at wing forward now as Mikey Scanlon from left half back to left half forward. That looks to be the change that they have made here now. Alan Goggin yet to score in this match. Going through the middle there. Nice run. And the free being given there to Dara Scanlon.
Well won by Dara, in fairness. Good burst through the St. Mary's defence.
Dara Scanlon will leave it to Ian O'Sullivan. He has a quick chat with Matthew O'Sullivan. Do you want to take it? Matthew says, no, you take it. So Ian, dead straight in front of the post, you would imagine, will add on to his total of 3 2-pointers. One from playing, one from free. 8 points. Again, he's their main scorers. That's what we were saying before the game, Ossie, about St. Michael's Foilmore would need a good spread of scorers this afternoon. Unfortunately, they haven't got them.
No, Ian is the big man, but sure, look, I suppose you could point to Brian Sheehan for the Marys over the years.
Correct,
as well.
yeah.
You know, when you have a player like that, sure, they have to be the main scorers.
9
like.
points so far now for Ian O'Sullivan. 2:14 to 11. 10 minutes left here now.
As you said, Gary, I think St. Michael's Foilmore need that goal in the next few minutes.
They do. Brian Sheehan quickly taken. The kick out.
Cian O'Shea.
Keane gathers it, and this is Aidan Walsh again. Covered every inch of grass here. And speaking of conditions, the pitch is held up very well here. It's in good shape here. Credit to the ground staff here in Waterville. Waterville G8's in great condition here. And this is Darren Casey over there now on the far side of the field. Darren Casey. He's within touching distance of another South Kerry Championship final. Tomorrow we'll see who their opponents will be. Will it be Skellig Rangers or will it be Waterville?
Brian Sheehan is on the overlap here
And
for the
Sheehan is
2-pointer.
on the move. And there he goes, Sheehan.
Inside
He plays a
ball.
beautiful ball inside into the corner. This is more great movement for Tygo O'Connor. Was he brought down?
Seems to be a penalty
the referee
there.
says
Did he
no. Play on, says Aidan Walsh.
I thought he jumped up in his back there, and I don't know what's happening there.
Well,
There's a few fellas would think the glasses around me, Gary, I think. I might be a small bit biased.
well, I'm saying I'm keeping out of the argument anyway. So Anyway, Eddie Walsh is the man with the whistle. None of us have whistles, and maybe it's a good thing that we don't have a whistle half the time. Anyway, here comes Scanlon again. This is
He's
Dara.
after making a difference after
He
coming
is
on.
actually, yeah. Dara Scanlon to Stephen O'Connor. Good shoulder, being met there by the other number 8, Jack Daly. Fouled here now.
All right, this is 2-point territory
Questioning
again.
what's it all about, and
Clock
Eddie
is-
Walsh is explaining. Again, this is a very tough one for the left-footed kicker that Ian O'Sullivan is. But
Yeah,
the temptation...
the wind is after dying a bit here now, Gary,
is
as well. Like,
actually,
so,
fair
you
point,
know,
yeah.
it's you wouldn't be surprised if Ian did put it over, like.
Fair point. The temptation is there to go for the 2-pointer by Ian. Again, he
across the
didn't
goal.
connect it again.
Might
Break is inside there.
Okay,
Oisin Moran.
the forwards weren't waiting for that, Gary.
Yeah, Oisin Moran is the captain, of course, of the St. Mary's team. Into
Aidan
the
Welch
middle.
coming out with the ball there again, Gary. He's after a
He's
tremendous game.
covered a huge amount of ground. Here is Aidan Walsh again. A goal and a point to his credit so far. St. Mary's spraying it around. Is that Ty O'Connor inside? There it is. Ty getting away for his man. He have a goal and a point. Can I say the goal and 2
super
points?
score.
That is a mighty kick. In fact, he's a goal and 1 point. That's his first point from play. Adding to that goal in the first half, 2:15 to 11. So I think possibly it's safe to say now that it's another final for St. Mary's.
It'd be hard to say otherwise, Gary, at this stage. You know, what is it? There's 2 goals and 4 points in it. So
Yeah.
it's 10 points in 8 minutes of normal time, probably 3 or 4 minutes of
They're
added
actually
time.
running their bench now. Alex Coffey's being called ashore.
Yeah,
So a couple of changes coming in. We saw Tygo Sullivan in there a minute ago. Number 26, Alex Kelly. Your name checked him a few minutes ago, Mossy. Alex Kelly is into the action. Long ball inside again.
But
Jack
Daly's
Daly.
on.
Jack Daly.
He's going for the
Still
grip.
going through. Jack
Gone for the
Daly
point.
over the bar. That's the 4th point from play from Jack Daly, the midfielder.
Yeah, they seem to just playing down the clock now. St. Mary's just.
Running their bench, saving the legs for 2 weeks' time for another South Kerry final, 2:16 to 11. St. Michaels Foilmore will be bitterly disappointed.
3 points in the second half, Gary. Yeah, you know, and the wind isn't that strong at this point in time now, is it?
No, definitely not. And Mossy, whoever comes through tomorrow, I mean, they don't need us to tell them, but they have their work cut out to beat this well-oiled machine.
Yeah, but every team is beatable, Gary. You know. Is our goal on here? No, Brian Sheen has gone back.
He's Scanlon. He's after pulling something. It's a hamstring or some kind of a muscle in here. A high challenge there on Alan Goggin from Aidan Walsh. And
Tap over for Ian O'Sullivan, you'd
I
imagine.
think Mikey Scanlon is the fella gone down injured. He pulled some sort of a...
Hamstring, yeah.
Yeah.
He had trouble with that earlier on the year as well.
Yeah, his day is over
Yeah.
anyway. You'd imagine. Alan Goggin having a chat there with Ian O'Sullivan. And Ian will take his time for this one. Eddie Walsh might have to decide if does the St. Michaels Foilmore player go to the sideline to get looked on. And maybe the
There's
physio.
more time to be added on, Gary. So it's just
Absolutely. Ian O'Sullivan. Well, it's a bit of a miraculous recovery if it was a hamstring. Maybe it
he's
wasn't.
hopping away. He's made a tough stuff that Mike is
Could
gone
have
right
been his
there.
ankle actually. Maybe he twisted it on the way through. Ian O'Sullivan anyway. We'll continue with
Ian
another 1 pointer for Ian O'Sullivan. 6 3 is 9 and 1 is 10. 10 points for Ian O'Sullivan. out of
5 minutes
12.
of normal time left.
More substitutions over on the far side. I think they've taken Mikey Scanlon off over there. They have. Do they? I think they have. Anyway, we'll continue. Brian Sheehan to take this kick out.
Sheehan, he was going to go short, and I think
Brian decides to drive. That's a huge kick. Wow, that is a massive kick. But O'Connor
well
gallops
won in
around
the
the
middle
middle
by
of the
Stephen
field.
O'Connor.
It's played well in fairness. Stephen O'Connor around the middle of the field. DJ Moore now introduced there early into the second half. Alan Goggin,
Alan is pulling a hamstring there now or something as well.
another man that needs the treatment table. I think he'll keep jogging to the sideline. That's maybe where he's going. He's not over here on his own. Is Adam Murphy. Adam Murphy, a goal or nothing for St. Michaels Foilmore, and even that goal probably wouldn't be enough, but a loose one from Matthew Sullivan.
Tyg Sullivan.
Tyg fouled quickly. Daniel Daly.
Jack Daly on the run.
Inside him goes against a Conor O'Shea, sandwiched and fouled, and you name it. It was happened to Conor O'Shea, but he's a tough bit of stuff. So Conor O'Shea, he's continuing his run here now again. Back it goes for Daniel Daly. Daniel pulls it to the left and pulls it wide. It's only for the second wide of the afternoon in the second half for St. Mary's. 4 minutes to go here now. 2:16 to 12 points. Alan Goggin is being called ashore, Massey, because of that little bit of an injury in the last few minutes to him.
Absolutely, the hamstring gone there, yeah.
So we'll be getting our slip of paper
Done,
in the next few minutes for the man of the match.
done and dusted, I'd say, at this
Done and
stage, Alec.
dusted, absolutely. Credit to St.Michaels Foilmore. Great
20.
first half performance, but certainly not in it for the second half at that second goal for St. Mary's. Michael O'Shea, number 20, yeah, is in there as well. Now, Eddie Walsh making that kick to be taken again. Jason O'Shea looking up now, seeing what's his options. One of the options is not to give it to a St. Mary's man, but unfortunately has a foul there, 60 yards out from goal, quickly taken. Eddie Walsh inside to Cornan, is he around his goalie? He will indeed, and stick it into the back of the net, Anthony Cornan. And the crowds now will be hitting for the gate, because that's 3-16 to 12 points.
It has petered out in the second half, Gary, the game, doesn't it really? It's probably over for the last quarter of an hour.
We're waiting for our man of the match. We have our piece of paper, Mossy. You can reveal who has been chosen.
The man of the match for today has been picked as Jack Daly, St. Mary's number 8.
Definitely. And a great performance. 4 points from play from Jack Daly in the middle of the field. So he's a very worthy recipient of the man of the match award. But I think there's an awful lot of these guys in the white jerseys wearing white jerseys today who could be deemed to be the man of the match. 3-16 to 12, this ball will be brought forward because Conor O'Shea didn't behave himself there. He didn't get back from Matthew O'Sullivan when he should have got back from, according to the new rules. And Eddie Walsh had a little bit of a smile on his face saying, Conor, you didn't. Conor acknowledges it. And it's Matthew O'Sullivan to take this one. So another final for St. Mary's again, the reigning champions. 3-16 to 12 points, a minute and a half to go. Matthew O'Sullivan to take this one. It's a high one, looking for a 2-pointer, and it's a wide ball. And unfortunately, from Matthew O'Sullivan's point of view today, Massey, he didn't get on the scoreboard at all today.
Is that right, yeah? And like he hasn't been into the game in the second half at all. I suppose the Mary's half-back line, Gary, were crucial here today. Absolutely. As well as midfield and Aidan Walsh there on the wing as well.
Daniel Daly and Tygo O'Connor now being called ashore as well.
14 and 15.
Dahi Shokro. You would know all these young lads now, Massey, from St. Mary's. They're getting a bit of game time.
Grandson of John Paul Chokra, the great doctor of yesteryear, as the man says.
Break in the middle of the field.
A bit of pushing and holding, I don't know. Thought that was going the other way, Gary, to be honest.
Free for St. Mary's. Conor O'Shea will have to go back with the ball. In fact, he'll give it to the man named man of the match, Jack Daly. Over it goes now to Sean Cornan. Sean trying to get back in the starting 15 if he at all possible, but St. Mary's have so many options here now.
His brother.
And the rain is beginning to come here, would you believe it? There's a little bit of a drizzle or a little bit of a trickle of drops of rain here. But we've only about another minute to go, so hopefully Eddie Walsh will see sense and he'll blow up before this rain does come. Here's Ian O'Sullivan. Inside there now, that's Michael O'Shea, who was introduced there a while back. 28 is Dara Scanlon.
You have to give St.Michaels more credit, Gary. They haven't run into tower.
No, they haven't.
They're battling away to the very end.
Absolutely. Adam Murphy, you'd have to give them credit, and they did own that last 10 or 15 minutes of that first half. But
he's calling back a free here.
Just the Marys have too many aces in the back, Mossy, I think.
They did, and they kind of up the ante there. They got a couple of crucial scores at the start of the second half, and like the goals then, you know, I suppose after 10 minutes of the second half, Aidan Welch's goal, you know, probably put the game to bed.
Second goal, definitely, yeah. That was the difference, so it's going to be another final for St. Mary's. Whole day face, we'll know tomorrow.
St.Michaels Foilmore never looked like getting a goal today, did they?
True. Brian Sheen has never been tested as a goalkeeper, if you look at it.
A super kick by Ian O'Sullivan.
That's another great cracking kick from Ian O'Sullivan. Credit to this young man. He's a damn fine free taker, I'll tell you that. He's got 12 points out of 14, Mossy, and that would win most games for you on his own.
Absolutely.
But unfortunately for Ian, he's going to be on the losing side this afternoon. 3-16.
Brian Smith is on now for St.Michaels Foilmore as well, number 3.
Brian Smith as well, actually. And lucky, I thought maybe, unless of course it could be an injury, I thought Brian Smith a little bit unlucky
high ball there.
Not start this afternoon. He played well against Renard in the quarter-final. Running down the clock now, Tygo Sullivan. Oh, for
Punched
once,
away.
misplaced
Punched
pass. 61 minutes gone. Eddie Walsh has a whistle in his mouth. He won't add on much more. Here is Brian Smith getting his first touch of the ball.
Stephen O'Connor.
Stephen
Great game in
O'Connor.
fairness for, battled all day. Stephen O'Connor in the middle of the field.
He's not going to lift Jack Murphy, unfortunately for him this year. Matthew O'Sullivan fouled there by Oisin Moran. Quickly taken. Here's Ian O'Sullivan. It's damage limitations now, unfortunately. DJ Moran back to Ian O'Sullivan. Just outside the D. Brian Sheehan will go high, pulling it from his crossbar.
He's looking at the watch.
Eddie Walsh is looking at his watch. 3:16 to 14 points. We're approaching the 32nd minute.
Mark O'Connor, Tig's brother, on the ball here.
Of the second half. Mark O'Connor. Back it goes again to Tig O'Sullivan. Tig plays it back here to Shawnee Conan. And a couple of drops of rain have descended upon us here now at Waterville. Here's Conor O'Shea again. It's a great game, Conor O'Shea.
Absolutely.
From wing back.
Absolutely.
His fitness level is top notch.
Through, in fairness. He really is a championship player.
Absolutely. That's a great score from Conor O'Shea.
I'd say that could be it, Gary. You can't imagine the ref playing too much more now.
Top-notch player, Conor O'Shea at wing back. 3:17 to 14 points. I'd say that's it done and dusted here now in Waterville. Tomorrow, 2 p.m, it's Skellig Rangers against Waterville in the Conkeating Park. We'll be live for that match as well to see who St. Mary's will play in this year's final. And
Jack Daly's going for this one again. Broke it. Niall O'Sullivan
gathering the break here. Still Niall to Mikey Scanlon. Play on. Advantage, says the referee. Niall gives it inside into Adam Murphy. Good ball to Brian Smith. Brian Smith calling for the return. That's Scanlon. This is Smith. He's going for the... Was there a push? There's a point there anyway for Brian Smith. Getting his first score of the action of the day. 3:17 now to 15 points. And with this kick out, I would think Massey will be getting the ball. And that's it. I can see the referee has signalled 3:17 to 15 points.
Fairly comprehensive.
Done and dusted here, Massey, yeah.
Fairly comprehensive, I suppose, like the goals in any game. But St. Michaels didn't get into it in the second half. It came to life there, the game, just before half time, that 5 or 10 minutes. But they never came out of traps in the second half.
No. It's very hard to find a weakness in the St. Mary's team, isn't it?
Yeah, they must have been a small bit rattled at half time, but they came out and they just went at it again from the get-go. And like that goal by Aidan Walsh after 10 minutes was, put the game to bed again. Yeah. They had a cushion of a couple of points, and then they kicked a few at the start, and then the goal, just given that cushion that they probably needed.
And credit to Foilmore, they didn't throw in the towel anyway.
No, they battled to the very end. Like even though they were down by a good bit, they never gave in. A lot of young players by Foilmore. I think they will be heard of in the next few years.
So that's it, folks, from us here. Myself and Mossy will be back with you tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the Conkeating Park, but it's another final for St. Mary's. They're through here comprehensively enough in the end after beating St. Michaels Foilmore. 3 goals and 17 points to St. Michaels Foilmore's 15 points. From all of us, we'll talk to you tomorrow live from the Conkeating Park.